do we do this one? The Bengals and the Pussycat Dolls. What a slugfest. I'm going to let y'all know the 80s wins this one. Again, not a squash match, and I'll tell you why. First of all, the Bengals are a band. The Pussycat Dolls are not an actual band. Why? Well, during a hoedown on Whose Line Is It Anyway, Ryan Stiles explained it best.
But you're not a band unless you play an instrument.
And the Pussycat Dolls don't play instruments. So, 1 point for the Bengals. 2, you got the lead singers who kind of hog the spotlight, admittedly. Susanna Hoffs and Nicole Scherzinger-Dizzer. But Susanna Hoffs wasn't nearly as bad. You know, take a couple of songs where the entire band really got to individually showcase their talents. Walk Like an Egyptian, each Bengal took turns doing their thing. All of them got to shine. But in the Pussycat Dolls song, Beep, you know, there were 6 of them, and only 2 others got to sing by themselves, as briefly as their part of the song was. The rest of them, you know, just backup singers. And I remember seeing a live in-studio performance of that very song. The other 3 didn't even fucking have microphones. So if you have a band where certain members' roles are to provide backup vocals, you see the Pussycat Dolls, half the band, they don't even need their fucking backup vocals. They're just backup dancers. And for that, you're not part of the band. So, the Bengals wins that one as well. And, you know, in one of the videos, Little Richard was featured in the Bengals', I believe it was called Walking Down Your Street. But he didn't actually provide vocals for the track. The Pussycat Dolls, however, for 3 of their songs, they relied on Busta Rhymes, Timbaland, and Snoop Dogg, Lion, piece of shit, I don't give a fuck what his name is. So, you know, it's like they didn't have enough star power on their own to really make it, because their debut song even had help from Busta Rhymes. So, Bengals again. That covers the basics. But now, let's look at how the Bengals have withstood the test of time. You know, 20 some odd years from now, is any Pussycat Doll still going to look as good as Susanna Hoffs? I doubt it. Boo! And speaking of standing the test of time, the Bengals released a lot of great songs. Not everyone today knows all of their songs. However, 1986's, there's that year again, Manic Monday and Walk Like an Egyptian, almost everyone you talk to today, even the millennials, the little teeny boppers who were just barely born in this century, know those songs. And 1989's Eternal Flame. Do you know what Eternal Flame is? Yes, you do. Don't fucking lie. You know what that song is. However, 20, 30 years from now, how many Pussycat Doll songs are going to be remembered? Honestly, probably only Don't Ya, Wish Your Girlfriend Was Hot Like Me. And on top of that, so obviously the Bengals already win that, boom. But on top of that, you know, a lot of people, you know, another generation or 2 from now, they're probably going to remember Don't You Wish Your Girlfriend Was Hot Like Me as, oh, I remember someone saying that song in a movie. They might not even know who the Pussycat Dolls themselves are. So, I mean, seriously, I like a lot of the Pussycat Dolls songs. A song that I also like called Bottle Pop. But 20, 30 years from now, you think anyone will remember what the fuck Bottle Pop is? How many of you watching, I'm willing to bet half of you watching right now don't know what the fuck Bottle Pop is. And I rest my case. The 80s strikes back. And now, for our tag team main event. Oh. humps. Did this one needed to be done, or did this one fucking need to be done? I guess the latter, because it didn't need it to be done so much as it need, you know, I fucked up my vocabulary there, but yeah, this one was a must. Leatherface and Michael Myers, movie monsters created in the 70s, versus Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees, movie monsters who were created in the 80s. And these are arguably the 4 biggest movie monsters of all time. Freddy and Jason overall are probably more popular, but that doesn't necessarily mean they win this match, because we go back to 1980s versus 1970s, you know, Grease is widely more popular than Grease 2, but Grease 2 still whooped its fucking ass. And speaking of that video, the 70s have only gotten so many chances to dethrone the 80s. We brought out the big gun Grease, that went down to its so-called horrible sequel. And then here on Supercard, the original Supercard in the triple threat match, the 70s was involved in only its second shot at the 80s. And not only did it not win that triple threat match, it was the loser. I talked about how in professional wrestling, for example, in a triple threat match, oh look, remember my very first 80s kind of guy episode? In a triple threat match, there's one person that isn't involved in the decision. You don't get the pin, but you don't get pinned either. The 70s could have been that one, but the 70s was the one that got beat. Hey, don't blink, you're about to see this match in its entirety, all 31 seconds of it. So now, this is the 70s chance at redemption. We brought out the big guns, Leatherface and Michael Myers. And man, what would really happen if all of them went at it?
There's the bell, and we have nothing to do but sit back and watch the destruction. You can find yourself going through a table. Oh, what a sidewalk slam. Watch out here. The Nightmare from behind. A wild-eyed counter by the Maniac. Big move coming. Ooh, what a vicious backbreaker. Good Lord, he's just hell-bent on maiming his opponent. Oh! King, did you see that? Oh, man, it doesn't get much closer than that. And again he exits the ring. Oh, no! Oh, my gosh! I thought he was going to get leveled there. More importantly, you have to realize where the tables are. Such power and aggression behind that move. The Maniac got
it. Well, reality would dictate, assuming these monsters actually were real, that you'd have to worry about both teams turning on each other, because as you saw in both Jason Goes to Hell and Freddy versus Jason, self-explanatory there, Freddy and Jason have a tendency to turn on each other. And by the same logic, would Michael Myers and Leatherface be able to get along? You know, these are two people that would pretty much kill anything that moves. Although Michael Myers was more of a stocky guy. He kind of hand chose his prey, whereas Leatherface, if you're not a member of his family, oh, but man, what a brawl this would be. And, you know, ultimately you got to think about it. We would have to do a death battle here, but really, who could die? I mean, Freddy did die, but the orbs surrounded him, blah, 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 whatever, so he's immortal enough to live in people's dreams, and even when you pull him out of the dreams, you kill him outside the dream, he just, poof, he's back. And just like Jason, there's always something bringing him back to life. Michael Myers seems pretty damn impervious to pain / immortal too. Winner Continental Champion. Oh, yeah. So you think about it, the only one who's actually mortal is Leatherface. So, what does that do for this match? Can Jason just automatically fucking break him in half? Well, not necessarily. Assuming Leatherface got along with his partner Michael Myers, if Leatherface and Jason were in a death battle together, you know, Leatherface is quick. Yeah, he runs with that motherfucking chainsaw. I don't think Jason would be quick enough to take him out. But, on the other hand, although Freddy could dismantle Jason with that chainsaw, it wouldn't be an exact death blow, because in Jason Goes to Hell, you saw him get exploded, and yet he managed to come back. So Leatherface could not put Jason away, but I already pointed out how Jason couldn't quite put Leatherface away, and of course Mike Myers,
Yeah, baby, yeah!
seems as immortal, in a manner of speaking, as Freddy and Jason. So this match would come down, I believe, to Freddy and Leatherface. And Freddy being the more immortal one, and Leatherface, yes, he's a monster, but at the same time, he's human. So, you know what? All Freddy has to do is haunt Leatherface while he's asleep, kill him in his dreams, and good night, Irene. Winners, Freddy and Jason.